Hey everybody, it's Jen Braley from Ohio, and I'm coming to you today with a few suggestions on how I do client care and keep track of things. I am definitely a paper person. I'm not real techie, so for me, this is what works, and I just thought I would share the info with you in case you are looking for a few options. So when I am tracking my leads for sponsoring, I like to use my calendar. I write down the person's name, obviously their email and phone number, and any pertinent information that I want to remember so that if I have had a conversation with them and they do not join, when I go back to look at that info, it's in my calendar, the memory is jogged of where I met them and what we talked about, and it's easy for me to reach back out to them, especially if there's a sponsoring incentive or just as a follow-up. So I use my calendar for all of my sponsoring leads. That way they're all in one place, easy to track, and that location just jogs my memory of where I met them. When I am doing leads for parties, I like to use a small yellow legal pad, and I just jot down names of people when I see them maybe on Facebook, or if I I'm going back through things in my HQ and think, oh gosh, I haven't seen such and so for a long time. Or if I'm looking back at my parties and think, gosh, it's been a great, while since such and so hosted. So I use that yellow legal pad, and then as I work my way through each sheet, when the sheet is done, I get to tear it off, and it's quite satisfying to know that I've tackled all of those people on the list. And it's just the yellow legal pad is easy for me to see. It's easy to keep track of. I don't lose it because it's kind of bright and eye-catching. The next source that I use is a small spiral notebook, and that is what I do when I am tracking people that are looking for specific products. So prior to COVID, we didn't usually have a lot of out-of-stock items, but people might have been looking for things like Samba Sangria or For the Love of Cookies or Go-Go Asiago or whatever it was. When somebody asked me for something that we no longer had, I would jot down their name and info in a little spiral notebook, and anytime we did get information about products coming back, it was really easy for me to search and find who wanted that product and reach out to them. During COVID, obviously, when we were having problems with supply, I had a page that was labeled drink buckets, and then I had another one that was labeled baking mixes. For me, it's easy to keep that spiral notebook and keep track of it. And when the buckets came back in stock, I was able to just tear that whole page out. But the people that are looking for things that just return on a regular basis, it's easy to then just keep that notebook. So again, these are just a couple ideas of what works for me. As long as you are doing some form of client care, your system doesn't really matter. I just encourage you to keep lists, keep track of who you're contacting, and do some kind of client care, because customer service is what keeps our clients coming back to us. And hopefully you found these tips helpful. See you guys later.